So here is an update on what it's been like to own my 2018 BMW 540D for about the past 7 months or so, and just a hair under 8,000 miles. I'm at 28 now, and it was right about at 20 when I first got it. It has been a little bit problematic. I'm going to try to remember everything I had to have done under warranty. It is no longer under warranty, and actually, funny enough, ever since it's been about 2,000 miles since the last of the warranty repairs were completed, and it's been perfect ever since then. The most major warranty item was it had a new turbo installed. This was because the old turbo was leaking both exhaust and oil. I never did figure out exactly what was wrong with the turbo, but I did make a video sticking my phone down in the engine compartment, so you could see that. I'm actually going to try something. This is a little tricky to do, but I think if I start out at about 10 miles an hour, and floor it, I can kind of trick it into revving a little bit higher. Occasionally I can actually get it to go all the way up to that red line. So it's a little thing. I think it revs up so high that the computer doesn't have a chance to figure out that it should shift sooner. And it pulls actually pretty hard, even all the way up into the fives, which is pretty cool. I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to wait till this truck passes, but it'll give me a chance to slow down a little bit. So we'll go to about 10 miles an hour. Yeah, see, that time it shifted a little different. But anyway, so yeah, the turbo, I suspect there was like a cracked housing or something letting the exhaust out. It was all covered in soot. But anyway, that has been replaced, and there was oil on top of the valve cover, which oddly enough seems to have come from when the prior owner had the oil changed at the dealer. Interestingly enough, they actually opted to replace the entire valve cover under warranty, which also included replacing the injector seals and a bunch of other stuff. So that's all good. It's all like new. No leaks. I had to have one of the sun visors replaced because it was drooping down, and weirdly enough, it also happened on the driver's side as well. But then it stopped. It's fine now. So I'm not sure what was going on there. I gotta turn the temperature down. It's getting pretty warm in here. I'm gonna try that acceleration one more time, see if I can get it. We'll go to about 9, punch it. Yeah, see, I could tell by the way it was building power there that it was gonna shift earlier. And I also think it shifts sooner once I warm up the turbo. I think it kind of reduces boost because it doesn't want to overheat anything. I can usually get away with some full throttle accelerations, but eventually it kind of dies down. But it's so fun to do that. Let's see what else. So another thing that was done under warranty is my center console door didn't latch properly, so they replaced that. That includes the whole leather covered door, that right there. They had to do a programming update to the instrument cluster because it had an issue where it went black. Apparently there was a software update for that, and it's been fine ever since. One other thing too that was kind of exasperating was I had a shutter in between first and second gear, like on some of those acceleration runs that I just did, it would shudder in between the first and second gear right when it shifted. There was a TSB out that covers actually a wide variety of BMWs in which the transfer case fluid was filled with the wrong fluid, and the solution was to replace the fluid. I had to fight with the dealer a little bit on actually almost all of this stuff, but they eventually came through. So I did get the dealer to change the fluid under warranty or goodwill or whatever, and that did actually address that issue. So if you have a modern BMW that is shuddering when you floor it from a stop and it shifts, you can actually feel it in the seat. It's probably got the wrong fluid from the factory. I think I have a video showing that TSB if you want to dig back through that. Let's see what else has gone wrong. Well, let's talk about my overall impression. You know, actually, I'm really glad I bought this car under warranty, because all those things would be really expensive. Oh yeah, the other thing I forgot is shortly after I got it, the check engine light came on with an echo fault in the SCR DEF tank. So that got replaced under warranty too. All this was under my ownership. I think under the prior ownership, the prior owner had the active shutters replaced. I couldn't say that right. Which actually I think is a pretty common issue on the G30. Other than that, that's all the issues I know about. I mean, yeah, it's quite a big list. But no regrets with this car. It's so satisfying to drive. I actually really don't mind that it's had a lot of issues, and I think it's been pretty well sorted now. I think it's going to actually be okay. I still have an open recall for the EGR cooler. I'm not seeing any signs of coolant loss yet, but I'm keeping a close eye on it. But I do think the EGR cooler does have a leak, because sometimes I still smell some exhaust smell under the hood. So the whole complaint I had initially was exhaust smell under the hood of the car, which I thought was going to be fixed by the turbo, which it actually wasn't. I mean, it is a little bit better, but it's still... and then under certain circumstances, it does let that smell into the cabin. So maybe some of the external piping on the EGR cooler is cracked. I've seen some other people on older BMWs have stuff like that. And it's hard to see the whole thing. It is in front of the engine, but it's hard to see the whole thing, especially like underneath. Overall, I still love this car. It's one of my favorite cars ever. It's just amazing to drive. And now I know the actual true count of how many were sold in the US from the recall. It's 298. So this is a very rare bird, which I'm sure is going to make it fun to get parts in the future. But I plan on keeping this thing for a long time and keeping it going, finding a way. I'm no stranger to oddball cars. Those of you who have seen some of my older videos know I've had some really oddball cars. Would I recommend a 540D to somebody? So it depends on your priorities. If you want an amazing driving car with addictive torque and awesome fuel economy, I mean, it's very easy to get 45 miles to the gallon on the highway driving normal speeds. And just a very satisfying overall driving experience, then I would say absolutely yes. But if you're looking for reliability along with all of that, maybe not. You know, maybe mine is an exception. in terms of all the stuff going wrong with it. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of people out there to get feedback from that have these. I've always been kind of a pioneer when it comes to cars anyway. But yeah, overall, it's just an amazing car. I think the last car I actually liked this much was my Cruise Diesel. And that had so much novelty because it was just also another rare car and something that I would never have expected. And as a result of that car, I ended up recently buying my Equinox diesel as well. I don't drive that nearly as much. I do like it. I'll try to do more content on that as well. Yeah, so that's about it. That's my summary of having owned this for about 8,000 miles. And as time goes on, I will do more updates. I'm probably not going to drive this much as long as there's salt on the road. I'm going to preserve it and drive my other cars when there's salt on the road. All right, have a great day.